Fight fans, welcome back to Carl Prusa MMA. We got a returning guest to the platform. He's been on here a few times, getting ready, making his second trip to the PFL, taking on Magomed Umalatov, July 25th, Washington, D.C. Make home star boy, he is Mr. Ernesto Rodriguez. What's up, brother?
What's up, my brother? Happy to be back. Happy to be here. Getting into fight week. I'm really excited for this fight. I can't wait.
Absolutely. Last time we talked about your PFL debut against Kakuri. Overall, what did you make of the whole experience?
It was great, man. Great experience. Very professional show. The way that they run the show, the way that they get the fighters ready before they walk out. They don't do like everybody's in the warm-up room. They do like 3 fights by 3. So very professional. I love it, and I'm excited for my next one.
Absolutely. You know, you found some big regional shows, obviously, in your career, but this is your first time on a really big show, ESPN. You had Dalton Ross on there, Impa Kasanage, you had Brian Battle and Johnny Eplin. What was it like seeing that poster for the first time, actually signing it?
Oh, it was great. It was great. I was very happy to see familiar faces like Brian Battle. I used to spar him all the time at Extreme. It was cool. It was super cool experience. I made the most out of it. I was a little bit nervous. I'm not gonna lie. But it was great. It was great. Very good experience.
Absolutely. Obviously, the win went really well for you. You took out Kakuri, a guy who's made a name for himself, and you put on a great performance. What do you think of it looking back at it?
I feel like I could have done a little bit better. I feel like I was a little stubborn on wrestling. I should have trust more on my striking. My striking is pretty good, and but I mean, got home, got the win, and got my hand raised at the end of the day. That's what I fight for. Walk out with 2 paychecks, and then it was great. It was great. But yeah, the nerves kick a little bit too. I'm not gonna lie. But overall was a great trip.
You know, do you find that when you're fighting at higher levels like this, the PFL and these big shows, do you feel like the mental aspect becomes more important? Does that play more of a factor?
It did on that fight. I mean, walking into this fight, I'm more relaxed. I'm more like loose because the first, it was my first fight, so I was like, oh shit, I have to make a statement. I have to prove these guys that I belong here. I got all those things like going through my head. But now I'm loose. Now I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna show what I'm really made of, what my skills are, my striking, my wrestling. That I'm very well rounded, and I've been working a lot on my boxing. So I can't wait. I can't wait to show all the fans that the Starboy brings the whole package.
You know, that was my next question. You're a guy, we've really seen him in the last year, how well-rounded you've become. Obviously, we've seen that grappling always be really strong, but we're really starting to see those hands. Do you feel like this last year, do you think like you've really started to take an extra step to be as close as you can to an all well-rounded fighter?
Yes, 100%. Not last year, but the last few years. That's what my focus have been. Is trying to be as more well-rounded as I can be, and that includes like doing a lot of boxing, doing a lot of Muay Thai, doing a lot of Jiu-Jitsu. Like bring everything that I can into my skill set, and then prove it on the cage. It it does take longer to do it in the cage than do it in training. Like I feel like I'm training and like I'm striking with all these guys like Chidi Angel Kawani, which is he's one of the best strikers in the UFC right now. But it takes a little longer to put it on the cage because the nerves, the fans around and all that. So I've been putting a lot of my sparring, but it's time to do it in the cage.
Absolutely. So as a pro, you have 11 wins. By any chance, if you could guess the combined win totals of all of your opponents, how many all of your opponents added up wins, could you guess how much it is?
Of course, I think it's somewhere around 81 and 25, or like above 80 for sure. That's one of the things that I most proud of my career is that I never fought any cans, any guys with like losing record or any of that. Like I see a lot of guys in the UFC, PFL with the record like opponents record combined is like 11 and 22, like 10 wins and 30 losses, like fighting a lot of guys with losses. And then that's one of the things that I'm most proud of my career is that I'm always fighting tough guys since I started doing MMA. So it's somewhere 80, above 80 and 25 25, 26, somewhere in that.
Absolutely. No different when you start your PFL career. Second fight in, Magomed Umalatov. A lot of people saying this is one of the best guys in the entire PFL. You look at his topology, he's had some amazing wins, done some amazing things. Overall, what do you think of him as an opponent?
Oh, I think it's a great opponent, very well rounded, just like I am. He's very good wrestling. He comes in like very heavy, like very strong, big guy. He probably weighs on fight day like 190, above 195, maybe. Very good fight. He's number two. So beating these guys right there for the title shot. I think I'm like co-main event, and then the main event is the fight for the title. So me making a statement in this fight, I'm right there for the title conversation. And then I can't wait. If anybody has the skills to beat this guy, that's me.
Could you see this one becoming technical?
What do you mean technical? Like more of a technical fight?
Yeah.
And my part, I'm just gonna try to stand up and bang. That's what I'm looking for. Gonna bring this guy to a dog fight. I have the dog on me. Let's see if he has it.
Absolutely. You already mentioned this one, co-main event. It's kind of crazy. Already your second fight in the PFL, your co-maining event doing a wonderful big show. Is that pretty cool?
It's crazy cool. I love it. I'm a main card guy, kind of guy. I don't like to be in the preliminaries. I don't like to be one of the first fights. I like to be the last one or the one before. But yeah, it's love it. I love it. I'm made for those moments.
Absolutely. The PFL, a little bit of a facelift this year. They went away from that tournament style. Now you have rankings. They're going to bring belts in, all that stuff. Do you like this product?
I love it. I love it. I like how they keeping the fighters active, very active. That was one of the things that before they weren't doing. They were like fighters would take longer time off and all that. Now they're doing like back to back to back events here, like everywhere. Austin, Washington, Charlotte, New York, everywhere. I love that. I love what the company's doing. I love what the new CEO is doing with the company. And then I love it. I love every aspect of it.
For you, I know one thing on the regional scene, you always had a tough time trying to find fights. A lot of guys saying no. How frustrating was that?
It was very frustrating because that's one of the things that I wanna do. It's like stay very active now that I'm young, that I have the energy. I wanna fight like 2 or 3 times a year, and it was very hard for me back then on the regional scene to find fights. But with PFL, they keeping me active, and I like that. I like that. I have a couple of years left. I wanna fight until I'm 35, so I wanna at least get like 15 fights on all these years. So we'll see.
Another crazy thing about the regional scene, when you go out and fight for regional shows, you're also like a salesman. You have to sell the tickets as well. Do you enjoy not having to do that now?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I don't have to stress about like, oh, they gave me 20 tickets. I gotta sell them. Or I gotta try to sell this place out to make a little more money for the percentage that we make out of the tickets. So yeah, I like not having to worry about any of that. Just fully focus on the fight, fully focus on my opponent, the weight card and all that, and go out there and kill it. Yeah.
For where you're at right now in your career, what's the ultimate goal? What are you looking to accomplish here in the PFL?
Get the bill. That's always gonna be the goal. Get the bill, get that money, get that belt around my waist, and yeah, add another belt to my record. Be the number one guy. I always want to be the number one. My dad always told me like, if you're gonna do something, if you're gonna do a trash guy or whatever, you just gotta be the one. So I'm doing this to be the one and get that belt.
It's kind of crazy to see where the sport has become. For so long, it was always the UFC. There was really nothing that even came close to it. Now you have other promotions that are paying the guys a lot of money. You have world-class athletes. PFL definitely one of those. Do you think we're finally at a day and age where like you can do this for a living, you can have a solid career without even having to fight in the UFC?
100%, 100%, and especially with PFL, you can definitely do that on the PFL. You can do it for a living. You can full-time train. I'm still working at the bar sometimes, but whenever I have a fight, I take a whole month, and thanks to PFL, I'm able to do that. You know what I'm saying? I know like what I'm gonna make is gonna provide for my family for maybe a year. So it's great. It's great, especially and that thanks to PFL that they're doing that for the fighters. So it's great to that fighters now can do this for a living and do what we love to do, that is fighting.
Battling it on the regional scene, we've talked about this. You're not making Conor McGregor money. It's hard to have a family. It's hard to have a wife. You're doing these side jobs. You're staying up early. You're waking up late. All this stuff. Knowing that now you're at a place, you have more stability. You're on a big ESPN show. You're fighting guys that, if you know MMA, you know who these people are. Does it really allow you to look back and see all these sacrifices and how they were worth it?
Oh yeah, 100%. This is the point where like every fighter would want to be at. You know what I'm saying? Like being and fighting for these big shows and making big money and be able to provide for the family at the same time. I feel like this was my dream back then. Just be able to do what I like to do and at the same time provide for family and have a good like lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So it's great. It's great. This is what I always wanted it to be. And then thanks to PFL for provide that for us the fighters.
So, in addition to being a fighter, you're also a dad now. How has that changed you as a person? How does that change the fight game?
Oh yeah, it changed my perspective of going out there, and now it's not myself anymore. It's also my little daughter that she depends on me, and I have to do good. There's no other choice. I feel like I also take it as my opponent's trying to take food out of my table, of my little daughter table. You know what I'm saying? So that's the mentality that I'm stepping in every time I step in the cage from now on, like with that hungry, with that like I gotta do everything I can to win. That way I can provide for my little baby. You know what I'm saying? That's the mindset that I have now. So it definitely changed my whole mindset. So when in my last fight, I took my dad in my corner, like because he's the one that put me in wrestling when I was a little kid and all that. And then after the second round, he was like, let's go, come on, you can do this, do it for myself." And then I'm like, "What do you mean doing it for you? I'm doing it for my little dad. Shut the fuck up. Just I'm doing it for my little girl, not for you anymore. I mean, I used to wrestle for you because you pushed me to wrestle and all that, but what do you mean doing it for you?" Like I talked to him after, and he was like, "No, you're right. You're right. You have a bigger reason to do it now." But yeah, even though after the second round, I thought about it. I'm like, "What do you mean doing it for you? Like, shut up." But yeah, that was a funny moment on there. Probably that he was nervous too, so I get it. That's he wanted to say something to motivate me, but he didn't find the right person to say that. You know what I'm saying? So he was like doing it for me. Like he told me to doing it for him. I'm like, no, I'm doing it for my girl.
For you, how do you think you have grown and evolved as a person from this whole crazy journey you've been on?
I'm a totally different man. I'm a grown man now, more mature, more. I'm not doing all the crazy things that I was doing before. Like I remember when I went to an amateur fight, and then I went to a club right before the fight. So now I'm not doing any of that right now. I'm fully locked in. This is what I do for a living. So I have to do it right in order to provide for my whole family. So yeah, I'm a whole different man than when I was before, for sure. It had changed me in a big way.
What do you want your daughter to take away from this journey?
That I put a lot of work in, that I sacrifice like myself on every day in order to give them a better life, the life that I didn't have when I was in Cuba. Like everybody knows, in Cuba you struggle a lot. You have blackouts for 24 hours. You don't have cars. You don't have sometimes food on the table. You know what I'm saying? And I want her to be able to understand the sacrifice that I've put in, like every day, to make a better life for the family and for her.
In the history of combat sports, we've seen several fighters from Cuba. Obviously, Jorge Masvidal is a big one. You got Joel Romero. For you, who are some maybe Cuban fighters that are inspirations to you?
Um, I would say Joel Romero kind of opened the doors a little bit because he was the first like Cuban fighter that um, did the transition from wrestling to MMA, just like I did. He was the one that kind of opened that door a little bit. Um, but yeah, I think I would say him, but he didn't get the title. So like I want to get either PFL belt, UFC belt. I'm a belt chaser, so yeah.
What's it like knowing now you have younger kids, younger fighters at the gym, online, looking up to you, seeing where you're at, seeing where you've become, maybe reaching out, DMing you, trying to get advice from you, trying to get to where you're at? Is that a pretty cool feeling to be in that
It
position?
is super cool. It is super cool. Sometimes I walk into like a regular gym that I go sometimes, and then I see kids. Oh, Starboy. Oh man, it's very good to see you. Yeah. Hey, what are you? What's a good advice that you can give to a young fighter? This and that, and that's super cool. That sometimes you don't even know that they look up to you. They follow your career. They follow your steps. Oh, when you're fighting, oh man, you're killing it on PFL, man. So happy for you. This and that. Oh, you got the belt on top. Yeah, and it's super cool. It's super cool because I was that kid not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? I was that kid that look up to like champions and fighters and all that. So now see it from the other side. It's super cool. It's super cool. It makes my day every time I see those kind of message and online and real life and everywhere. So yeah, it is super cool.
You know, I think you have one of the coolest nicknames in all of combat sports, Starboy. We've talked about before. Learn English through the song Starboy from The Weekend. When you're out in public, like, have you ever been in the store and you hear the song and just get pumped up?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I get all pumped. I get ready. Sometimes I throw like a jab or an uppercut right there. But yeah, it gets me all fired up. Like I was telling you before too. One of my coaches just called me. He was on the Weekend concert, and he was like, "Oh man, it feels like we're walking out to the cage." And I'm like, "Soon, we're gonna do it soon." So yeah, it feels cool every time I hear that song. Even in my car, sometimes I'm driving, and then every time that song comes out. I feel like it's a sign. Oh shit! And then my mind automatically goes to the fight, and then makes me think about what gonna do in the fight or what my opponent's gonna do and all that shit. So yeah, it gets me fired up for sure.
Absolutely. All right, Ernesto, last question for me, my friend. In a perfect world, what is the outcome July 25th when you make your return to the PFL against Magomed Umalatov?
A knockout, 1 second, third, don't matter. A knockout. I'm coming to knock this guy out and get my hand raised for sure. That's the perfect
Absolutely.
word right there.
Absolutely. Ernesto, man, thank you so much. As always, enjoy chatting with you. Good luck, my friend.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, my brother. Thanks for the opportunity. See you in Washington, D.C.
Absolutely. That's it for us, Dave. Carl Perza. He is Starboy. He is Ernesto Rodriguez. You can watch him July 25th. PFL. Taking on Magomed Umalatov. Double League Fight fans.
Let's go.
Take care.
Thank you, brother.